Happy New Year. Welcome to the first episode in 2024.
Sir.
Call it season two, call it whatever you want. Welcome to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
What's going on? What a week.
Happy
we went
New
from
Year.
Happy New Year, went from a really lull in wrestling because of all the best dub shows and to one of the most exciting weeks in recent memory.
Yes, sir.
A lot happened across WWE, across AEW, even across New Japan Pro Wrestling as of this morning.
A lot of stuff. And apparently there's going to be some TNA stuff happening today as well. Yeah.
I guess as of the time recording this Thursday morning, Wrestle Kingdom just about wrapped up. I think the press conference maybe ended a half hour ago or something
very
like
early.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. So something to look back on. Maybe after this, I'll run back a couple matches. But big day. We are talking, or we're talking the obvious. You see the title, whatever. But before we get to that, first of all, happy episode 59. Forgot to mention. Eventually, I'm just going to stop saying what
Big 5-9.
Big 5-9. Almost at 60.
Almost. Big 6-0.
Iron Claw.
Dude.
Oh.
So I'm seeing it after this.
Are you really?
4:30. I bought a movie ticket for today.
Okay,
Yep.
word. We'll talk about it next week then, because it's. I saw it Tuesday.
I saw you tweeted it.
Unreal. It's so good. Yeah. I wish I could say, like, in full honesty, it was my favorite movie of the year. It's probably my third favorite of the year.
What are the first two ahead of it?
Probably Killers of the Flower Moon, Spider-Verse 2,
and
then probably go Iron Claw.
Okay, gotcha.
Maybe
I didn't see
Oppenheimer
Killers
might be
yet.
in there.
That's
Killers is good too.
I know.
Yeah.
I will see it eventually. But Claw.
Man, just the way, again, I want to talk about more when you see it. But just I saw it with a buddy who like doesn't care about wrestling, doesn't like wrestling, and it even like beyond just seeing it with him, seeing the discourse like everybody, because it's such a popular movie right now.
Not even non-wrestling fans are going and checking it out.
So it's like seeing like the discourse of like non-wrestling fans being like, that was beautiful, that was so sad, that was so moving,
It's
that was so
A24, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just bought the they put out what's called a zine, basically like a magazine of like have like pictures of the whatever. It's kind of hard to describe, but like basically a magazine of the film, making of the film, like the culture of it, like A24 puts out with their film. So I just bought that last night.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, man, it is so good. I was like, obviously the movie in itself is like amazing, but like even more so, like coming out of it, I was just really, really hyped that that's how the culture of wrestling got depicted, and people who don't give a shit about wrestling are seeing that and are getting to be like, oh, I never knew this.
I'm sure you saw this. Chavo Guerrero was working on, like, he was doing a lot of like the training.
He's in it for a little bit.
He's in it for a little bit.
He plays the Sheik for like which you don't like really see his stage. It's like a quick moment.
Sure, gotcha. Oh, that's cool. He had like an interview after whatever, and he said like because of the success of this movie, they want to do more. And apparently, like the Guerrero family, and I think that
Eddie movie would be, or Guerrero in general would be so
like
good.
What you were saying is like I think it's wrestling movies and stuff, and obviously you have your wrestling fans that are familiar with the Von Erichs, and like even just wrestling fans who might not be familiar are gonna check it out. But also like I've been seeing online like TikToks, people being like, me, a non-wrestling fan, not knowing what White Claw's about, gonna check it out, and like afterwards they're like, what the fuck?
Is it the dude with the beanie and glasses?
That may be. I've seen a few of them.
Okay.
That may be been one of them.
That's just
I was gonna say
me,
you. Did you make a TikTok? But like I've seen like non-wrestling fans go and be like, that movie was fucking incredible. Wasn't expecting that. I think this is going to open the door to like being able to cover more wrestling families. Like I think the Guerreros, you can do. I mean, the whole Rock, the Anoa family, and stuff like that. You can do so many different Hearts, whatever. Yeah, and that will open the door and
tons
be
of
like
stories.
Have people be like, oh wow, like there's so much history in wrestling, and that's cool. Like there's so much more to it than the theatrical stuff and like what people think what wrestling is. There's so much more to it. You can tell there's so many great stories, and I'm very excited to see it. Like I've heard nothing but great things. Like
I'll move on from it so we can talk more about it.
We'll definitely talk
week,
about it next week.
But man, it is it is a ride. But
I heard great things about Zac Efron too. I'm very excited.
Zac and Jeremy Allen White.
Him too. Yeah.
People are saying give Zac the Oscar. I don't know if I'm on that train. He's great. I don't know if I'm on the Oscar nom train.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I'm on the
I'll
win
give you
train.
my Zac Efron opinion next week.
But Jeremy Allen White was so good too. They were all good.
Awesome. All right, can't wait to see
MJF.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
was he really in
like
it?
kinda. I guess he is listed as a, which I watched some of the credits, and he is listed as an executive, like
Yeah,
big bold letters, executive producer Maxwell Jacob
I
Freeman.
saw he tweeted
which
that.
was just like fucking cool to see.
Yeah.
I won't tell you more or less what he's in, but it's like, yeah, I won't tell you. Kinda.
All right.
Anyway, Iron Claw, we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, shows up in New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom this morning.
Yes, he
attacks David Finlay after winning the Global Championship. Attacks him in the press conference. Cuts a promo. He's the wanted man. There's so much here. He was in the crowd with his brother. Dolph Ziggler, New Japan Pro Wrestling run. Here we go.
Love it.
2024.
Love it. Yeah.
I mean, love it.
I think no matter where he ended up going, I think he's a star. I mean, everyone knows who he is.
I'm honestly so glad it's New Japan because, like,
too.
I love the story. I love, like, when WWE guys, whether it's pre their WWE run or post their WWE run, and they go over to Japan and
feel
have like a run.
a good percent of guys that go right to New Japan have incredible runs.
Sure.
right
I mean,
after.
like, AJ came from New Japan. Ray went to New Japan for a little bit.
Cody went to New Japan.
Cody's the biggest story, really.
I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of good wrestlers I've came back from New Japan. Because I always thought, and I'm not saying to shit on, but like if he went to like AEW or something, I feel like he would have gotten a little bit lost in the shuffle.
I think so too.
A little bit New Japan, he's able to kind of separate himself a little bit, have this new character. I honestly, the only thing I saw from it this morning was that he came out. Like I didn't see like the post press conference stuff, so I'll have to check that out.
Oh yeah, he so David Finlay won the match and him and Nick Nemeth, which I guess now we have to get used to saying.
Yeah.
Nick like hit him like ringside and kind of went at him, and then I just saw, you were probably driving, but half hour ago, press conference, Nick Nemeth attacks him during the press conference, holds up the belt, and he's just like, I didn't finish it, but he was like wrestling is, it's about this, and something about bigger than you, and I'm coming for this title.
Let's go. Love it. I love it, man.
Did you watch his little promo video they did for him? It's crazy. So he's his new nickname is like the Wanted Man or something like that.
I like it.
And I can't even describe. It's like a Johnny Cage, John Wick movie.
Okay.
Where there's like zombies. It's like this 3 minute. It's like this 3 minute like mini movie where he's like this like like 80s like tough guy, whatever.
Interesting.
And then like there's like zombies. He ends up super kicking a zombie's head off.
Okay.
It's insane.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I'll definitely be checking that out when I'm watching the previews at the movies later.
But I think you even said like a week or two ago of like, you were mentioning like Dolph Ziggler and Bullet Club, but like even, Bullet Club or not, even just New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah, I'm excited for this run. I'm definitely, it's tough to keep up with 6 different promotions, but this is definitely this and this story, and also I want to get more familiar with David Finlay.
Right.
But I
actually saw a TikTok this morning. It was a 'cause sometimes I get like wrestling TikToks of like just like sequences or whatever, and it was Finlay versus Ospreay versus Moxley in a triple threat match, and it was like them hitting their finishers on each other, and I'm like, oh fuck, that was sick. But yeah, very cool seeing Dolph Ziggler show up now.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Because it was a week ago that all the contracts or all the 90 days were lifted or whatever. So all these people might be starting to show up now. It'll be cool to see where other girls show up too.
Before we move on to the big thing, what everyone's waiting for, I do want to give a little... Jinder Mahal returning. I do want to give a little shout out. They asked for it, and you shall receive. It's their third time. Shout out, I believe, that's how you pronounce their name, Christian Nicola. And did he say his buddy's name in here? Zach, I think is his buddy's name. Zachary. Shout out Christian and Zach bringing Stache Club signs to Dynamite and World's End.
Sick.
And they were at a show, I think last year. That was when like we saw it on TV.
Yes.
Same fellas.
Fucking sweet.
And they're at World's End and Dynamite repping Stache
Always
Club.
repping. Appreciate you.
They got the merch. They got the sign. So shout out them. There's your little shout out.
Super
well deserved
right there. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even see this with the Sweep City on the back.
Hell yeah.
That's tight.
Love that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Good
shout
shit,
out,
guys.
Shout out the guys.
Appreciate you guys repping us. We always appreciate the support.
So.
All right. Whew. Here we go. Everyone buckle in. Everyone take a deep breath. Everyone take a sip of your coffee.
Gotta get this right for TikTok. Here we go. Okay, hold on. The Rock returns to WWE and calls out Roman Reigns.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he
yes,
did.
He fucking did.
Let me just kind of go down
Yeah,
the list of events.
Yep.
First of all, Triple H was like, it was announced before the show. We have a former world champion that's going to be showing up. Blah, blah, blah.
I was all on board with it. People were saying it's going to be Batista.
That's kind of, I honestly had no clue. Who
They
it was
were
gonna
doing
be.
a whole Hall of Fame thing. They were like, oh, they're going to announce the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that would make sense.
So I was
Yeah.
like on board with it. But then there was this whole development of a certain somebody being in California a few hours away. And then I was like, wait a minute. This seems more likely.
So they do this really, really, good swerve at first, and then like whatever. Jinder Mahal comes in. Everyone's pissed. I like how obvious of a swerve it was.
Yeah,
like I was
for sure.
watching. I was like, they got us. 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 They got us.
Yeah.
Not going to talk about this. Kind of a strange and pretty outdated Foreigner versus USA promo.
It seemed very like
That was
copy and
weird.
paste,
It
like-
was strange.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. It just, but so skipping everything. I don't even give a shit about most of what The Rock said to Jinder. Like he did say,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter if you didn't see Baywatch. Like
That
whatever.
was kind of funny. That was kind of
honestly,
funny.
don't give a shit about any of the promo.
I was like watching it, and obviously as I kept going, I was like, "Wow, this is kind of a way." I was like,
well,
"This is
because
kind of a
this
mid."
is what happened last time when he was on SmackDown, and
Right.
there was no bloodline mention, whatever. So this time, when
That was, I thought that was a little bit more entertaining.
It was a good
It was a good,
separate thing.
entertaining separate thing. Yeah, this one I was a little bit like, eh.
The Rock's music hitting too always blows the roof off the place.
The hair stand up on your arms. It hits like crack, man. Every single time.
So
Never fails.
The Rock says, I'm going to go out to eat. Should I sit here? Should I sit there? Where should I sit? Or should I eat at the head of the table?
Bar. That's a bar. That's all he had to say.
What do you think he means by that? Huh?
I think he is going after Paul Heyman.
I think we're getting Jinder versus Rock at Mania.
At Mania. That's what it's being said.
There's the seed.
Yeah.
It's one line causing a headline.
That's it. That's all he had to
Respectfully
do.
so. And Roman tweeted out a laughing emoji, fuel to the fire.
The Rock put on his Instagram caption said, "We're just getting started."
Oh, did he? Woo. So here we are. Rock and Roman officially ignited. So this is the controversy.
Yes.
Not necessarily anything outside of Twitter. Controversial discussion. I don't know. Where and when?
Not
where
will it
and when?
happen. Where and when will it
Where
happen?
and when is The Rock and Roman gonna fight? WrestleMania 40 is the obvious answer. I'm trying to figure out how to because I want to talk about everything. So let's just start
we have
with
a lot to talk about that.
The Rock and Roman. It's happening. They called him out, or Rock called him out. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
So okay, we got Royal Rumble's coming up.
Yep.
I doubt it happens at the Royal Rumble. I think they're just gonna have not a blow off, but like maybe a versus Randy versus AJ.
It's gonna.
someone.
It's
Well, they're
gonna-
having the match.
That's gonna be that triple threat match.
Yeah, LA
So
Knight
it's
versus
gonna be
Randy
one
versus
of them,
AJ.
Whatever. Yep.
It's not going to be LA Knight. It's probably not. I think it's going to be Randy as well.
I think so. Yeah.
Royal Rumble happens, whatever. So it's probably not going to happen there. People are saying, and
Elimination
admittedly,
Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. It's happening in Australia.
60,000, 70,000
Whatever it is. So at first, when this happened and I was seeing talks Elimination Chamber, my gut reaction was like, no way.
I agree. I'm with you.
I kind of, admittedly, I forgot that it was happening in Australia in front of 70,000 people.
Okay.
They've done Rock and Punk at Elimination Chamber. They've done Roman and Cena at another B-list
They did Roman
show.
and Sammy at Elimination Chamber.
Roman and
last year,
Sammy.
too,
So call it a B-list pay-per-view. There is history of doing this. However, so I don't know. I'll tell you now, because as we're going to discuss all this and kind of make predictions and blah, 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 I don't know anymore. Okay. I don't even really have an opinion or a general thought. Like, no, I think they're doing this at this point. I could see, I guess just to get it out, because I want to hear your thoughts.
Yep.
I could see them doing it at Elimination Chamber. It's just the amount of people. However, it's going to be at like East Coast 4 a.m. Are they really, and not to disregard the rest of the world, but are they really going to, where they're, the place where their headquarters is and maybe their biggest fan base? I don't know. I just don't see them.
Saying.
The biggest match maybe in history, one of the biggest matches in history, it would be shocking for them to do it with the United States getting like a 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. start time.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But so the other side of the coin, because I want to make sure we touch on everything. So right now, just where, because we got Cody to talk about. We got all that stuff.
I already have my script like being printed out in my head right now.
WrestleMania 40.
Yep.
The obvious.
It's going to be the biggest Mania to date. They're going to anticipate it being it. They're going to make the card
whether The Rock is there or not, we don't know. But The Rock versus Roman, the biggest match, arguably in history, the most anticipated in history. Would they not have it at Mania?
It would be missed opportunity isn't the correct.
I agree.
It would be weird and shocking if arguably one of the biggest matches on paper in WWE history isn't on their biggest show of the year. That's what I can understand them doing an Elimination Chamber because of the crowd. They haven't been there in X amount of time. I get that.
Similar to like the crowd, the Puerto Rican crowd, or the Clash of the Castle crowd.
And I'm not even gonna fight. Like I'm not even gonna disagree in saying that wouldn't be a good spot for that. I think that would be. Like, a fine spot.
I do as well.
But it's just the nature of it's the Roman Reigns who has been champ for 3+ years. The Rock who hasn't wrestled in X amount of years. This is his cousin. The bloodline story, which people have been saying. You can't turn your back on it now. The best story WWE has told in almost of its entirety.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this is arguably one of the culminations of this story, and it's one of the peaks of the story.
If anything, it might be the grand ending.
And it's not going to be at the main event of WrestleMania.
Even just the biggest match in history, they're not going to put it at Mania.
If you don't mind, if I can do my.
Are we getting into fantasy booking here?
A little bit. Or do you want to wait a little bit?
I think we have some more to talk about before we get into that.
Not fantasy booking, but what I have is options of what I think can happen.
Let's talk about Cody first. Let's talk about Cody.
Let's bring Cody into this. Because this involves him a lot.
This involves Cody. The second this happened, I was like, oh no, Cody.
No, he must be in the back. He must be in the back saying no.
Punch in the air. Fuck. I saw
the only man that could stop Cody at this point is The Rock.
I saw a funny meme of, because you know how like in Punk's promo, I think it was the pipe bomb promo, how he was like, and I came back just to lose my main event spot to Dwayne or whatever.
Yeah.
CM Punk returns. Rock returns, Mania
Cody's
spot,
out.
boom, and Cody's out, and Punk doesn't get the Mania. He's going against Seth
back.
And whatever.
We're going back in the past.
But if this happens at Mania, which I think this is going to lead into your fantasy booking, because I imagine it has a lot of like they could do this at Elimination.
Right. Yeah.
The immediate worry is that Cody's getting bumped. Cody's not finishing the story at Mania, because if they do, well, okay, I guess we can just get into it now, because like there are other avenues to go about if they do The Rock. It's like The Rock doesn't want the title; he wants the head of the table. Mm-hmm. That leaves the title open. So like,
right? Does the title even need to be involved? Type of thing.
Right. So that leads to speculation, which I don't want to take away your thunder.
No.
I want to hear about it, but because Rock and Roman is basically saying, and also Roman's gonna be on SmackDown tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'd imagine there's gonna be some mentions,
at least some sort of like side jab or something.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I heard, I don't know, whatever.
So they could do something, whether they just put Cody and Roman at Elimination Chamber, still a huge match. Maybe Cody takes the belt then, and then that leads to Cody having a different match at Mania. He still finished the story at Elimination Chamber.
Because you've had that in the past where like you've had Royal Rumble winners and they have their match at Elimination Chamber. Like if Cody won the Royal Rumble is what I'm trying to say. It's like I'm not waiting till Mania. I'm doing it at Elimination Chamber.
And then that would lead to Rock and Roman without the belt just for the head of the table, because that would, if you do Rock and Roman at Mania and Roman still has the belt. We've talked about this ad nauseum in the past of like the belt almost makes it seem more obvious Roman's winning, so maybe not having the belt be better. However,
No, go ahead.
My worry with that is goes back to Cody, where he's like, he lost at 39. It's been this whole story to get to 40, finish your story. He's gonna, if they go this route that we're fantasy booking, is he really gonna finish his story at Elimination Chamber?
Right.
And again,
Right.
like I get it,
Right.
Australia,
Yes.
70,000. The show is going to be probably just as big as Mania.
Right.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to downplay the Elimination Chamber, but at the end of the day, you have to look at it on paper. It's WrestleMania is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like you've been
waiting.
Yeah,
You done?
come on.
No, okay.
The leash
So
is,
I just
let you off
have,
the leash.
I have like multiple choice here of like what
Okay.
you think the different options can be, and then I'm gonna pick my answer at the end of
Okay.
what I think is gonna happen.
Okay.
So
Curious.
option A,
Okay.
they do the match at Elimination Chamber.
Roman.
Rock Roman.
Okay.
And then they do then they do Roman Cody at Mania. They still go through with that, whatever.
Does Rock lose at Elimination Chamber?
Yes.
Okay.
I think no matter whether
Rock
the
can't
belt
win. Yeah,
the belt is on the line or not, I think the Roman's winning. I just think that's whatever. I don't think that's gonna happen though, that option, because months ago, remember when The Rock was on Pat McAfee, the show, and they were talking about like, oh, we had a handshake. He was talking about like the details if we had something in place, whatever. He said like, if I'm doing this, like we're doing something big, like we're gonna do something people never forget. So you're gonna do something with a month's notice, a month and a half, 2 month notice.
True too.
I don't think you can build up Rock Roman as much history as there is. I don't think you can put this together in a little under 2 months. Like this is something you need, like, and then option B. You do have the match at WrestleMania, and then Cody gets bumped to SummerSlam, which now I'm not. This is what I think is a likely option, but isn't also. I don't think it's going to happen because Rock Roman, that's Mania, right? That's like the main event, like on paper, one of the biggest matches in history, but it's predictable. I think especially if the belt's on the line, Roman's going to win. You can do Cody Roman at SummerSlam because that will be like technically like the 4-year anniversary of the whole thing starting. And I still kind of like am okay with like if they did end the reign at SummerSlam, because it's like it started at SummerSlam, it ends at SummerSlam.
And SummerSlam's still a big
and
four,
SummerSlam is arguably their second biggest event.
Right.
They hype it up as what could be. Third option. This is
Is this not the fourth option?
no, this is 3.
Oh, this is still 3.
This is
part
three.
of 3.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is part of 3. This is the most unlikely option. But like Roman Reigns main events both nights. Night 1 Rock, night 2 Cody.
Oh yeah.
But that's not happening because people remind me that Punk is back, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. Now, option D, and this is what I think is going to happen. Now, if you go on my Twitter, Dante on Deck, you'll see this.
Are you sure we're not at option 5? Because option 3 was SummerSlam.
I think there was part like, and I think there was a part A and B for one of these.
Oh, okay,
Anyways, so I just couldn't come to terms with what the fuck they could do here. This is why I ultimately think they're going to do option D.
Wow.
The Rock is at Elimination Chamber.
Wow.
They hype him up. He's going to be there because he announces a year in advance, I'm fighting Roman Reigns. And people are pointing this out too. The Rock didn't look that great in ring. Didn't look like he was. It looked like he was huffing and puffing a little bit. It looked like he was a little tired. I'm not
putting too much weight
on
that.
that. I'm not putting too much weight on that.
He can also get into like
he could.
Even if they were to do it in 2 or 3 months,
I
get
agree.
his cardio up. But
I
fine.
agree. People were pointing that out, but
No,
I agree with that.
for sure.
That's
I'm glad.
not that's not the reason why I'm saying this.
I'm glad you said this. I did see talk about that. I'm glad you said
Because
that.
Cody Roman needs to happen at Mania. That match I don't think he would have lost last year, and I don't think The Rock just being thrown in here, the way the direction WWE is going, Triple H running it, it doesn't seem like they're going to have someone come in and disrupt a whole long term.
Right.
The plan always has been, everyone thinks the plan has been for Cody to dethrone Roman.
Yeah.
Keep that going. Don't let The Rock come in, change things up.
And even just to interject real quick, even like A, that's the plan, but also B is like, are they really going to sacrifice the next? Because Cody's the guy. Like Cody is
supposed
the next
to be the
guy.
next like John Cena, the next face of the company.
So are they really going to disrupt, let's say, 5 to 8 years of a main event John Cena-esque Cody Rhodes for one last probably okay? It'll be an amazing moment, but like I don't think
it's not gonna be the match of the night, probably.
Probably not. But I guess the point I'm getting at is like basically like what you're saying, but to jump off it is, would they knock Cody off his pedestal just to slide in this, what you can maybe say, and I don't believe this, but like the cheap, not cheap, but just like the go-to. This is gonna hit in the now.
Yeah.
Would they do Rock Roman and have the Rock thing hit in the now and sacrifice Cody winning at Mania to launch Cody for the next 5 or 6 years for the company?
Right.
And
here's the other difference between a Roman Cody, Rock Roman. I think Roman Cody being at Mania 40 is a bigger moment than it would be if Roman Rock was at 40. Because Rock Roman can be at any Mania. So if the 40, the 10-year mark, like at WrestleMania X, it was Brett. WrestleMania 20, it was name redacted and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 30, it was Daniel Bryan. WrestleMania 4, it's always like every 10 years, it's always like a start of a new thing. WrestleMania 40 is Cody. You can do Rock Roman at any Mania and it will still be the biggest match. So, and again, The Rock was doing him saying like, we want to do something we've never seen before. Do that. Do it. You don't have to do copy and paste, but Rock Cena announce it a year in advance.
Yeah.
Build it over the next year.
Yeah.
That way, Roman doesn't need to be on TV. People won't be complaining about him not being on TV because one, he won't be the champ, and two, he's doing this whole thing with The Rock. And if The Rock's not there, Roman doesn't have to be there. So you can kind of make everyone happy by doing that.
I think, especially since they did do the, especially since they did do like the year in advance thing with John.
And it worked.
It worked. I think especially since they've done that. Did they do that for both WrestleManias? Were they both year in advance?
No, because Cena won the Rumble for the second one.
Since they've done it before and it worked, and since I think they need to have it at Mania, that's kind of where, similarly, when I was like also kind of thinking about like options, I did also kind of land somewhere at like, well, maybe it's not at this Mania. Maybe it's at next Mania. And because like solely for the fact of they've done it before, it worked. The Rock is the ultimate part-timer. Roman is becoming more and more and more and more and more of a part-timer. So it's like, set that up for the next year. You see each other, you see them sparingly. Even if they want to maybe not go as far as the next WrestleMania, if they go to SummerSlam.
Right.
My only concern would be...
Yeah, they can do SummerSlam too.
My only concern would be if... Depending on when The Rock announces it, does he announce it, like you said, at Elimination Chamber?
Right.
Does he announce it on an episode of Raw? Does he announce it at WrestleMania 40 after the match, before the match?
The night after Mania. Yeah.
There maybe the Raw after Mania. Depends on where he announces it. I go, well, if he announces it after Mania, this wouldn't really
that's true.
come into effect. Yeah. But I'd be worried for it overshadowing Cody. And for it either overshadowing Cody where it's like Cody and Roman are announced, but then also in the same breath, Rock and Roman are announced. So people are like, oh, I'm way more excited for next year.
You know what would be the worst case scenario, I think, for Cody too, besides getting bumped off of Mania, is if they really do a copy and paste where The Rock costs Roman the match at Mania and Cody wins off of some cheap shit.
He needs to win clean.
Then the next night, Rock is like, I challenge you next. Because that's literally, he cost Cena the match. Cena wasn't the champ. So like role reversal champ, whatever. He cost Cena the match. Miz won. Next night, we're fighting at Mania next year. That would be the worst thing for Cody because he doesn't get the clean win. The Rock overshadows. Because imagine mid-match, both men are down. Rock's music hits. That's all people are going to be like talking about.
Like you said, then if and when Cody goes on to win, who gives a shit?
Do not get me wrong.
The Rock,
people are still going to be hyped. Roman lost. Cody's the champ, but why? Yeah, because The Rock.
And that goes back to what we were saying. It's like that would jeopardize Cody's future and Cody's look for returning
for that pop,
which would be great.
Insane.
It's gonna be
it would be a crazy moment,
not to downplay it and act like
in the long
Rock and
run.
Roman, right.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
At this point, I'm just waiting and seeing because I genuinely,
that's all you can do.
All those things I listed as, although some may have been more realistic than others, like God knows how they're gonna go about this. I just hope Triple H don't fuck Cody over. Just don't fuck him over.
I think in my heart, I don't know. I really keep going back and forth with like the two wolves are like, are they really not going to do it? Are they really going to go back on this bloodline Cody plan at WrestleMania? So no way it's going to be Cody. But on the other hand it's Rock and Roman. So it's like I don't know, and maybe Roman fights twice. I don't.
God knows, dude.
It's like they're in such a. I mean, they're probably not. Like we're just looking. We're very outside.
They definitely
looking
know.
in.
They know what they're doing, right?
But it's like how it seems is like, wow, are they in a tough?
Good on them for like making it seem like people questioning when it's going to happen, what's going to happen. Good on them.
We need, first of all, so obviously, again, Roman is going to be on SmackDown, I believe. Let me double check that. But I think he's
double
gonna be on
check
SmackDown.
that.
I believe.
I would imagine.
Roman's
I
gonna be
think
on
because it's
SmackDown.
New Year's Revolution or Resolution, whatever they call it. So
Whatever it is. I'll just
yeah,
go on
I would
WWE's
imagine.
thing. But so we need something. The banner is the fucking Rock. You know what? Maybe they're gonna do it. Maybe they are gonna.
Oh my god. That's like when the NFL was changing all their stuff to Taylor Swift when she started dating Travis Kelce.
Is he not gonna be? Oh, that's
Logan
right.
Paul
Logan
is gonna
Paul
be-
is.
that's who you were
I
thinking
swear. Oh, here he is. Okay.
All right.
This Friday, New Year's Revolution. Head of the table. Nothing. Doesn't say anything else. Just Roman Reigns. So here's what we need.
Yep.
We need Roman to. We need Roman to. I'm not saying. Or maybe I was.
Do you like what
Give me a whole
like-
promo about it. Fuck it.
Do you really?
Give me a
I was
whole
gonna say he
promo
can do
about
like
it.
a Punk or Seth thing where like Seth was like, I'm not gonna talk about that. Like Roman's like, I'm not gonna talk about
Talk
this
about
guy.
it. Talk about the whole thing.
Hey, I mean, they let Punk talk about it.
know?
Hey, fuck, let him talk about it.
I would say.
If they talk about it though, then that's gonna make me think that it's happening a lot.
Yeah,
sooner
they
than
probably
later,
shouldn't.
though.
They probably. He at least
we
needs
have to be careful with what we ask for here.
Yeah, maybe not entire promo, but he needs to at least mention it.
Yeah, I think he
and
will.
plant some sort of seed, which I think he will too. But what we also need is we need a promo on Raw from Cody. We need Cody, and I know
We haven't gotten a good Cody promo in a while.
You know?
Coming out in the peacoat.
I know he's facing Shinsuke next
yeah.
week, and they're whatever, maybe before the match or even the week after, whatever. But soon we need a Cody promo, and we need him to just I don't give a shit. The Rock is back. My trajectory's not changing. You gotta mention it. You gotta mention it.
We need it,
and
yeah.
you gotta steer. And you know what I mean.
I know we're a few months removed and we're still a few weeks away from Rumble, but we need to get things heated up here. I think they're doing a great job. I'm excited for the Royal Rumble. I'm excited
we are
for this time
so
of the year.
back.
We're so back right now. We're so back. And it's very exciting. Very happy.
Well, unless there's anything else, I feel like we covered it.
Did you see that they announced the Money in the Bank this morning?
Oh, it's
where
in
it was gonna
Toronto,
be
right?
Toronto.
That'd be cool.
Another.
I love.
And it's going to be there. It's going to be NXT and SmackDown. So they have like a full
Cool.
week.
Love
Of
that.
stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We got a couple other things before we get into it. We're already into it. We're half hour into the show. Naomi potentially returning
Wow.
to WWE.
Yeah,
we talked
crazy.
about Sasha, Mercedes last week. It seems like the way I'm seeing talks about it is it's pretty all but said and done.
I think it's pretty confirmed at this
Yeah.
point. So
Mercedes is looking at A-Dub.
Oh, I know. Apparently, there was a report that her and WWE were in negotiations and they ended it for whatever reason. And WWE thinks that she's going to show up somewhere eventually, like soon. So very interesting.
I could see her in the Rumble.
I can see her in the Rumble. I can see her in TNA. TNA has a huge pay-per-view, like their first like TNA back pay-per-view. I don't know if you've looked into it. I think it's called Worlds Collide or something.
Where is she now? Is
Who?
she
Naomi? Yeah, she's in
Trinity.
TNA.
Okay.
TNA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So,
yeah.
but their tagging is like you'll never believe who shows
Oh.
up. People are speculating. I don't know because the company that just Endeavor, and I don't know if not TNA exactly, but the parent company, they just did some sort of deal.
Oh yeah, I saw
whatever.
something,
So
yeah.
people are thinking that potentially WWE and TNA reach some sort of deal, and that's like a reasoning.
trade some wrestlers.
No,
or
just like
something? No?
WWE buying TNA, like completely
Oh.
bought them, and like that's like they're like the parent, like kind of like how AEW got Ring of Honor, like TNA will keep going, but like
Oh, weird.
WWE's like
Ah.
I don't know how true that
Yeah.
is, but that's why people are saying, oh, that's why Trinity's going back to WWE type of thing. But who knows? But regardless of whether that's true or not, just interesting to see Naomi back.
whatever.
That'd be cool.
Whatever happens, I mean, she's done this. What a lot of wrestlers have done, like most famously, like Drew McIntyre and Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes, where they leave WWE, go out, make a huge name. For their own.
She was listed on a lot of top 10 lists for wrestlers.
She was talked about for sure.
Stuff like that.
So it'll be interesting for her to like come back, and I don't know. I think the WWE women's roster is so good right now,
stacked.
But I think there's always room. I don't think it's at a point where it's like, we couldn't possibly have
Right,
another star.
right.
Like
No.
Get Mercedes back in. Get Naomi back in.
Naomi was a big name. Like, she'll pick up where she left off. The fans loved her and stuff like that. She's a phenomenal talent.
I do also like the idea of Mercedes going to AEW. That would be fun.
I do too. That's someone that I think will spark AEW. That she seems like that's someone that they need right now.
It's someone they need, and I think it'll also kick Tony in the butt to like, hey, remember you have an amazing women's division.
Right.
Do something.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yep.
And I think if he has not to discredit the rest of the women on the roster, but I think getting a new signing of Mercedes might reignite that spark.
Absolutely.
We're gonna, we've always been kind of skipping around. We're kind of hitting highlights first off. So
it might be time
for what?
Oh, I was gonna say for the next topic.
Yup,
it's time.
Yup, might be time for the next topic. We're gonna get into World's End, but we're starting at the top here. First of all, since we're getting into it, we do have, if you were in the live stream, shout out you in the live stream. We had a good old time in there, even though the show was kind of bad. Besides the last 3 matches, and also shout out the Women's Championship match was solid, and also the TBS Championship match was solid, but overall, But Little Predictions Championship retain, Little Predictions Championship sweep City. Crazy. I know, everyone calm down. I know.
Everyone sit back down.
2-Belt Johnny, as of yesterday as well, is back. And we are up to date. That's also good to know, because that's the last video we ever recorded.
Good.
So I'm also just kind of, this is like off pod, but I am the champion going into filming today. So
perfect.
That's good to know.
Good. Yeah. No confusion like last week.
So anyway, boom, that's said and done. I'll see you.
Congratulations.
So what's next review has got to be Rumble, right? Yeah, I don't think there's anything in between.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, see you then.
See you at the Rumble.
That's going to be a good one.
But anyway, a lot to go over here in terms of just this main event. Samoa Joe is your new AEW World Champion. Wow. Woo. He did it. He did it. Before we even get into like all the other stuff, like Samoa Joe, champ.
Listen, I'm happy Samoa Joe is champion. He deserves it. He has been one of the best wrestlers on the planet for the last 20-something years. Has been world champion in 15 years, apparently. Wow. I saw that.
Wow.
WWE dropped the ball with him. Should have been a world champ.
Agreed.
AEW is treating him like he should. I'm happy for him. But I think the storyline, everything, it's
weird. Things are weird.
It's weird. This is how I thought it was going to end. Like, not Samoa Joe winning, but like everything else.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm happy Joe is the champ, but I just think it's still a bit messy. The story.
Yeah, I mean, they are even playing along with, like, they're not really, like, mentioning, like, contract, but, like, they are saying, like, Adam Cole last night on Dynamite said, and MJF is gone forever. So they're kind of playing, he's off the roster list, blah, blah.
Joe is champ, and I'm great for that, but I think he's champ for the wrong reasons or something like that. You know what I mean? Just like,
he's
thrown into the story. Like, he's not, like, the main, last.
He feels like an
I don't want to
afterthought.
jump ahead and stuff like that. He's just a piece of the story, and that happened to win the world championship. And I'm happy for. I'm so happy he's the champ, but it just doesn't.
Because
it didn't feel as important as it should have.
Because even just the way the storyline, and I think it was unavoidable too, where it's like he almost felt like an afterthought winning the match.
They put themselves into this corner where they had to do this.
So
anyways, let's get into it.
What happened was Adam Cole is revealed to be the devil alongside Wardlow, Roderick Strong in the Kingdom. What kind of happened here was MJF, Samoa Joe in the ring, blah, blah, blah. Adam Cole's music hit. Threw me off. I was like, oh, shit. Because, like, we've been and it was basically obvious. We were all like, oh, Adam Cole's whatever. So Adam Cole's music hitting, him coming down to the ring to support MJF the whole time. Threw me off.
It was
I loved
AEW's last-ditch effort to be like, to try to swerve people.
Which I liked it. To be honest, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the match, MJF is calling for Adam to give him the diamond ring. Adam Cole is looking in his pocket. He can't get it. Too late. Samoa Joe's back up. He couldn't find it for MJF to give him the ring to help him. Samoa Joe puts MJF in a rear naked choke, and MJF, after 3 arm drops, shocking finish. Passes out.
Shocking finish.
Loses the match. Even the ref sold it well, where his arm dropped for the 3rd time, and the ref almost to like play off of like that wasn't supposed to happen. Where he's shocked. Rings the bell. Samoa Joe, new champ. So the devil henchmen show up. They surround Adam Cole and MJF. They got him. They
got Adam.
They got him both like held up, and they're facing MJF and Adam Cole toward each other. The guy is getting ready. Was it the title or the bat? Was it a bat? I'm actually not sure what it was now that you say it. Either way, he's gonna hit him with something. Yeah. And they're both going, no, don't. And MJF is like, hit me instead. They're gonna hit Adam. Hit me instead. Lights go out. Boom. Credit where credit's due. Say what you will about the story. Say what you will about predictability. I thought
this delivery.
I thought the presentation I thought was really good.
Right.
Lights go off. Lights come back on. Adam Cole is sitting there in the chair with just with hair in his face, looking down, looking like a villain with the henchmen behind him. He looks up. The henchmen takes their mask off, which again being revealed as Wardlow, Roderick Strong, and the new ROH Tag Team Champions, the Kingdom. And then Adam Cole like pulls out the mask or whatever from his jacket. So say what you will about that. At least like a takeaway can be like, that was cinematic. No, that was cool. That was cool. Whatever.
For sure.
My thoughts are confusing. My overall thoughts are, it's the best thing that it needed to be Adam Cole. We talked about this.
Adam Cole. Yep.
It would have been disappointing if it was anyone else, because if it was anyone else,
like it was Jack Perry or something like that,
it would have felt lackluster, or it would need to be someone where expectations were just way too high.
Right.
So everything made sense. So it's another case of like, obvious doesn't necessarily mean bad. I even don't mind the Undisputed Kingdom as they're going by now. Right. Everything about it is very like, I don't mind, which I think is where my problem lies, because this was all, I don't know. I think, like you said, they kind of put themselves in a box, put themselves in a corner where it's like, even after reveal, and even like admittedly saying like, oh, I like the reveal, like they did a good job, it makes sense, the story's good, heel Adam Cole is good. After all of that, it's still like feels deflating.
That's missing something.
It's missing, and it's like oh, it didn't hit.
So
it didn't, you know.
This I'm also playing off of what was said on Dynamite. If we want to get into that or not, because like
it all ties in. I don't really have too much Dynamite here. I figured it all tied in.
It was predictable, but like, again, they put themselves in the corner where they had to do it. It had to have been Roderick Strong. It had to have been the Kingdom. Wardlow was the, like, Wardlow. But the thing with Wardlow, and this is what people are pointing out, and this is what's correct. When Wardlow came back like a month or so ago, he's like, I'm coming after MJF, like the World Championship stuff. I guess he did come after MJF here, but like, he helped someone else win a World Championship. And then Adam Cole cuts the promo saying, like, we have the ROH champs. Roderick is going for the international champ. Wardlow's going for the heavyweight championship. And when he wins that, and then I'm back, he's going to relinquish that to me. And Wardlow's like,
He gave a little bit.
There was
like a little bit of like a but then you're right. He did do a yes I am.
So
it was weird.
That part is also just like a weird twist. Like, okay, Wardlow's in this, but like it doesn't really make sense that like his whole goal is to win the championship, and then he helps someone else win it, and then when he wins it, he's going to give it to someone else. But MJF isn't in the picture anymore.
Yeah, so we've done this before with Wardlow, and it's like,
just weird to me. And like,
it's also tough that just like Adam is still injured. So like they're doing what they can.
Man, like they're doing what they can. Adam Cole got hurt at the worst time. He really did. Like I get, and maybe that's what the story's missing. Maybe it was missing just the fact that Adam Cole was supposed to be involved in it a little bit more, but he got hurt. I don't know. But the whole story, again, they did what they had to do. We're here, but it's just, it could have been one of their biggest storylines ever, but it feels deflated. It just doesn't feel.
I'm glad now we're at least on the other side of it, where now we can just, we have the faction.
Right.
I don't super love the fact. I like heel Adam, and I like that he's with Roderick. I don't really care about the Kingdom, and I don't give a shit about Wardlow stuff.
When they did their entrance theme, when they did like the Undisputed Kingdom, it kind of had a hint of the Undisputed Era theme song from NXT.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like,
that's what a lot of people were thinking, where they get the whole UE event.
Yeah, that's what I'm just like. It's they're kind of a cheap ripoff. Like they're trying to do a cheap.
It is kind of what it feels like. You know? I would have rather.
And I'm not trying to be that guy. No, I like the name Undisputed Kingdom. I think that's pretty cool and stuff.
Here's despite, because I think that was, which we're harping on it because we're at that section, but to Dynamite's credit, it was a fantastic show. That wasn't a highlight of it,
right?
But other than that,
it was.
Other than that, Dynamite was really,
it was a really good
strong.
card. Yep.
Even like it feels rejuvenized. That was probably the weakest moment.
That's
and
why
like,
it's supposed to be the strongest storyline, but it's not.
I think that's what. Yeah.
So
and Adam, we got a good video from Joe with some intensity.
Yep. I'm excited as Joe is champ.
Me too.
I really am.
And I also like what's weird about this is like there's so much I like. I like Samoa Joe as champ. I like heel Adam. I like the idea of a faction and henchmen, but like the stuff in it that I don't like.
And again, like I didn't mention any of it in my rant, but like the whole fact of MJF, the whole contract thing, that's not even getting a peep out of it. Like he's not on.
Yeah,
like they took him off the roster. Like he's off the roster listing on their website and stuff. It's like that whole. I feel like maybe that was the piece that was missing. The whole like inclusion of his contract being up. And I also thought it was a very anticlimactic way for MJF to lose the title after a year. Again, happy Samoa Joe won it, but like I don't know. I just feel like it could have been a bigger.
See, I didn't mind that. I think my problem more so lies with I think Undisputed Kingdom, but I don't think it was an awful. I don't think it was an awful. I think because he was so outnumbered, and I even like.
It makes sense.
I even like him passing out, and like because
it made him look
the
strong and stuff.
I definitely just think more so the aftermath made it feel more deflating. Like I think like. I don't know.
It was that was him losing and Samoa Joe winning was the afterthought to everything else.
Yeah, and I think that's what other than that, I think that's what maybe makes it seem
sure. It should have been the other way around.
Maybe, but, I don't know. And it's not like we're gonna sit here and try to be bookers, but it's like there was something missing. I agree. I don't want to harp on it too much, but like it is a conflicting feeling of like
let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, it is a conflicting feeling of like I like this. Yeah. Why am I not hyped? Why am I not,
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But we'll move on. We're going to talk about 2 more matches on World's End. We're going to go over to Raw. Edge.
Adam.
I loved this. Oh, yeah, Adam. Oh, yeah, I didn't put Adam. Weird me. I guess, what do they call it?
We're used to it.
Yeah. Adam Copeland defeats Christian, and then Christian defeats Adam Copeland.
Yes. Banger match.
The
first one.
This revitalized the show. The show was pretty, again, like there's spots and there's moments and there's people that deserve some flowers for the show, but ultimately we're looking at it as a whole. Up to this point, tough show.
Not a great one.
The 40-year-old men revitalized this show. I was back in. They were cooking.
Yep.
So earlier tonight, Killswitch wins the Royal Rumble for a TNT title shot, which basically being treated as a Money in the Bank contract sort of esque thing. Like you said, banger of a match. They did a bunch of nods to TLC, which I thought was really cool. Like one by one, they did share stuff.
Yep.
Then they brought out a ladder. Then they brought out tables.
Then they brought out the lighter fluid.
Which I was like, are they doing it? Are they doing it? And which I loved this. I wish it worked out better.
I love how it kept going out and they had to keep putting it on.
They whoever it was, Christian and Nick Wayne were doing it. So they light the table on fire. They're teasing. Also, Edge is dressed like the WrestleMania match with him and Mick Foley. They're teasing the Edge and Mick Foley nod. Which I thought was just really, really fucking cool. I'm a sucker for a flaming table. We never see
Who
him.
Isn't?
Unfortunately, it kept going out. And then Edge.
I think the announcers are like, "That's not meant to stay lit for long," or something like that.
For a good part of 5 minutes, Edge was making sure he was like, "This is not going out again."
He was rolling toothpaste. That last
this will not go out again. Sets it on fire. He power bombs Nick Wayne. Unfortunately, kind of whiffed the spot. It still went over fine.
Yeah.
He just ended up just he went over the table, knocked it over. He didn't go through.
They tried.
It's when especially after how the show was going, and I was like, oh, this is the hell yeah, this match is awesome. And they whiffed the table spot. I was like,
that's the night right there. That's the night in one move.
But still, shout out to them.
Great
cool
match. It was really dope.
So Adam pins Christian. Boom. Adam Copeland wins the TNT championship, his first championship in AEW. He's got a belt. Killswitch comes out. They're taking out Edge or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Christian demands the contract from Killswitch, says, give me the contract, blah, blah. Killswitch ends up giving it to him. Christian cashes it in, pins Adam, 1, 2, 3. Jesus Christ. Christian regains the TNT championship. Some people didn't like this. I loved it.
Honestly,
I really liked it.
you know, sometimes it's unnecessary. Sometimes it's good to have some shenanigans.
It's such a Christian thing.
That's perfect for his character.
It's so good.
You cannot like what it is, like Edge winning it and losing it right away. But like, it's Christian. It's perfect for his whole thing.
I thought it was great.
Like convincing Killswitch to do it, and yeah, it's perfect. Doing no work at all to get the win.
And I think now, like, they're probably gonna extend the Edge and Christian feud, and you know,
I mean, now they had the whole state of the whatever they fucking called it on Dynamite, patriarchy or whatever they called it, and Christian was looking around like thanking people, like thanking Nick Wayne's mom, Nick Wayne, and then he's like looking at Killswitch.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, and like thank myself for like doing all the work or whatever. Like yeah,
they're playing Killswitch.
Killswitch was kind of looking around. And he's like, oh, or whatever, and then kept.
I think we'll see that eventually.
Yeah,
maybe Adam moves on, because Adam doesn't necessarily need the TNT title. So maybe he moves on. They do a patriarchy feud. He moves on to the next feud. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see. This match,
Eddie Kingston defeats Jon Moxley to become the crippled. Jesus Christ! Eddie Kingston defeats Jon Moxley to become the Triple Crown champion.
Yes.
That includes the whatever they're calling it, the Continental Classic Championship or whatever.
Is it just Continental Championship?
Maybe.
I don't
know. What it is. Good match, not the best match of the night, but really good. I think the emotion really drove this match. We know the history Mox and Eddie have. And they're, for most of the match, where part of me was like, all right, let's see some more stuff. But I think it worked. They were just chopping.
Yeah, it's just a good wrestling technical match. Just physical.
They were just fighting. I wouldn't even call it a technical. I think they were just fighting.
Yeah, they were just hitting each other.
Whack, 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 which I thought was great. Brian Danielson was on commentary, which I think always adds a sense of authenticity to it. This was solid. There's, I love that Eddie won.
Yeah,
love
me
that
too.
Eddie won. Mox didn't need it.
Definitely needed it more than Mox. Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm excited for Eddie to go on runs where he's defending like.
Man, I'm a sucker
three of the titles.
I'm a sucker for someone that has 2 or 3 belts on.
Oh, he's just
I love it, dude.
Them.
What a dream that must be for any wrestler, dude.
So sick.
Like when Omega did a few years ago when fucking this is a callback, like Kurt Angle back in like late 2000, early 2000s had like both tag team belts, both the mid cards, the world belt, had 5 belts like that. I love that. I think it's the coolest shit.
So not much else to say about that match. Then I'm very, very happy for Eddie. I'm excited to see more of that. He's facing someone on Collision. I forget. They did it on. I forget. He's facing someone.
Too.
Is he fighting Danielson? No, I don't know who he's fighting. But I don't have much on Dynamite, to be honest. We're World's End Heavy, but also I want to give a shout out. This is the year of Daniel Garcia. I'm calling it now. Holy shit. He lost the match, whatever, but
he had a good showing.
Him and Swerve went crazy.
I did catch the match after on YouTube. I watched it. Swerve started doing it too. He was hitting him and he'd hit the move and then hit him again.
I mean,
both of those guys.
If that match tells you anything about the future of AEW and the future of wrestling in general, woo.
Absolutely.
But
good hands.
We got some Raw to go over. A handful of stuff from Raw. Here we go. Nia Jax defeats Becky Lynch in what was a great opening match. I don't think a lot of people expected this.
I didn't.
Just at the beginning of a Raw. I've liked this feud. I think it all makes sense. I don't think anyone expected like this sort of level of match to happen already with the feud at the beginning of Raw.
I was kind of feeling, I was like, okay, like this is going to be their first match. I figured they would have another one. Like maybe this is just the first of many for a first match or whatever. Because I'm assuming they're going to fight again. Pretty damn good. I like the story, but I didn't know how I'd feel about them. I didn't think the match itself would pan out.
I mean, Nia's best match ever.
Sure,
Sure. Definitely her best since her return. They're really playing along with the story of, obviously, the Nia Jax
breaking her nose,
made the man, broke her nose. They're really playing with like, Nia getting that punch on Becky, Becky avoiding it all match. Nia ends up hitting a huge uppercut to Becky at the end. She hits her finisher. Boom. Becky, which I didn't see it. Apparently reports are saying she was legit busted open, but she was left bleeding, which I think just added to the tone of the match or the post-match, whatever.
I did see that.
Fun match, good match. I like this. Really kicked off Raw.
I definitely see them doing maybe like a trio of matches or something.
Yeah.
Access first, or maybe they have it again at Rumble or something, or on a Raw in a few weeks or whatever. But it was a solid match.
Kofi and Jay versus Imperium. We'll just go over this quick. Kofi nails Giovanni Vinci with a drop kick that seemed to really connect, and then looks like kind of landed tough. Scary moment.
Yeah.
Really, really happy the ref, took things under control, stopped the match. Was hoping for the best for Vinci. I thought with Vinci. I hope everything. I haven't seen an update. I don't know what's going on.
I haven't seen anything either.
Regardless, scary moment. Anytime that happens, that's live TV.
Reminds people that shit could happen.
Yeah,
shit can happen on live TV.
And also, obviously, it was nice to see, especially now in 2024. The priority of the performer's health being put, up front. So shout out the ref and everything I'm glad they stopped the match. And I'm glad.
Can't take no chances.
The Awesome Truth reunited, fun match, funny segment. R-Truth is proving to be the highlight weekly of not just the Judgment Day in general.
This is Sami Zayn Bloodline vibes.
Yeah,
R-Truth
I get what you're saying.
This is just the Judgment Day's version of Sami Zayn inclusion.
Not as good version for sure.
No, definitely not as good, but it's definitely giving off that vibe. Yeah, 100%. Just like the guy that thinks he's in the group wants to be in the group, and R-Truth is just the best.
It's just way more delusional, which makes it even funnier.
Oh, he's the best, man.
He I think it's breathing fresh air into the Judgment Day. Not that they felt stale or stagnant, but if they're the most featured group or whatever, it's just nice to feel refreshed and have some new interactions and all of that.
Absolutely.
Like you said, R-Truth is convinced he's in Judgment Day, and he's like, I don't want to tag with JD, which is the funniest thing.
Yeah,
how
he hates JD.
He fucking hates JD. Little Jimmy gets a mention that got a pop. R-Truth tags with The Miz, and kind of it was a funny oh right, I'll tag with The Miz.
This is my initiation.
Some shit. And he's winking at Dom, and Dom's like, stop. I thought overall this was great. Match was also solid. It was cool just nostalgia-wise see R-Truth and The Miz back together. It felt like we were in, I don't know, what was that, probably 2011, 2010, some shit 2011, like that.
Yeah, I saw a picture. It was when CM Punk and Kofi were backstage. And R-Truth, it's bring me back to fucking late 2000s, early 2010s. I love it, dude.
Sign me up.
And even, too, with the whole Judgment Day thing, not even just on TV, on Twitter, R-Truth is, on Twitter. He's also a great follow on Twitter. He's hilarious. If you guys don't follow him, I recommend it. Finn Balor tweeted, Christmas morning, he goes, "Damn, I thought I was gonna find you under my tree. Thank God you weren't there." And then he responds with a picture of him underneath the Christmas tree, selfie. He goes, "What do you mean? I'm right here," or something like that. And just so good.
And just to remind people, he is 50, 49,
51, bro. And he's turning 52 in a few weeks.
Oh wow. And he's still hitting his corkscrew shit.
Dude,
he's
he hasn't aged, bro. If you watch a match from him in TNA back in mid 2000s, and you watch a match of his now, no difference.
Oh yeah,
dude's fucking
unreal,
incredible. Future Hall of Famer. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah. Oh,
has
absolutely.
to be.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley defeats Ivy Nile in what was I thought was
honestly,
a fantastic
really
showing.
Good match.
Yeah. Fantastic showing from Ivy Nile. Maybe Rhea's best singles match in her reign.
Could be.
I don't want to be crazy here, but it's definitely up there. It's in the conversation.
I think both their style of wrestling really complemented each other well.
Just two just yoked women going at it. Obviously Ivy wasn't going to get the dub, but she, made a good effort of being a competitive challenger.
Yep.
First of all, also just a solid win for Rhea. I think she needs these sort of matches and needs these wins, but also Ivy, future.
Yeah,
we're looking at the future.
How old is Ivy now?
I would guess.
Because she was in NXT the last few years too. I'm gonna say 27 is gonna be my guess. I don't know much about her, so I don't know if she has a long history or not. But
I'm in the same boat as you. I'm gonna say 30.
Okay.
She's got me young. 31. Okay.
31.
Take
okay.
that. Take
Cool.
that.
Yeah, Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
You win.
Here we go. Boom. Final match. Seth Rollins defeats Drew McIntyre to retain the World Heavyweight Championship.
So I was watching this and the match came on and I was like, I lost track of time.
Mm-hmm.
So admittedly, I thought it was like 9:30 and I was like, oh, this isn't going to main event the show. I was like, what else do they have coming after this? I look at the clock. I'm like, oh, it's 10:30.
Yeah. They had a banger.
Yeah.
I saw some statistic. I could be getting this wrong where Drew McIntyre has lost 17 world championship matches in a row or something like that.
Hate to see
yeah,
that.
tough.
Hate to see
I don't know if it's something like that. I don't know. But I mean, it's no surprise these two are great. They have solid chemistry together. Yep. So just, obviously it was just a solid match.
Big man and an athletic, smaller wrestler.
Damian Priest comes in the middle of the match to cash in. Drew hits him with a Claymore to prevent it. To be honest, I thought this was the moment. I thought they were either going to turn it into a triple threat, or I thought Damian was going to, cash in and lose.
Would have been a good spot to do it. A crazy swerve.
Yeah, I'm just getting annoyed with
I think
Drew hit the Claymore to prevent the cash in. I get it. The failed cash in attempts are part of it, but it was this happened. I was just like, all right, okay, that's whatever.
Yeah,
fine.
I feel like things like R-Truth being included into the Judgment Day, I think is just they need time to for these things, the Money in the Bank thing. This is again put on the back burner right now. They need time for whenever they do it. I do believe it's still gonna be post Mania, so they have 4 or 5 months to get to there.
Yeah,
they need to include include the R-Truth to kind of distract people from that.
Yeah. Oh, at this point, there's no shot it happens before me, unless he loses. But there's no shot.
Unless he loses, I agree. I don't know if I really understood the cash in here because I just didn't think it was
just to have it. I think
I knew it was it was predictable. I think that he wasn't going to cash in or whatever, but. Yeah, I mean, it was a solid match. So
yeah, there was a couple of really good moments, couple near falls. I think a lot of people thought Drew was winning. I thought a lot of people thought this was going to be the upset, and maybe Seth gets it back for me.
It would have been legit. I mean, he's obviously heel character now, credible threat. It would have made sense, but. Hey, Seth's going to continue that reign.
Most notable moment, Drew pins Seth with a roll-up, but rolls him up too much where Seth's foot lands on the rope to save him. I mean, that was fucking good.
He did that. That was a callback to him and Neville. Neville hit
I saw something like that on Twitter, right?
Pulled his leg over and it was on the rope. Yeah,
I thought that was great. Saved the match. Drew tries to put Seth through the announce table. Seth counters, hits him with the pedigree, hits him with a stomp, retains. Boom.
Nothing worse than a Seth Rollins pedigree.
So, final question of the show: who's next to face Seth before or at the Rumble? I mean, obviously it's going to be the CM Punk feud.
Right?
Are they starting it? I don't think they're going to start it. I think they're going to keep mentioning each other. I don't think they're going to be face to face again, which we got that incredible back and forth before. Right. I don't think we're getting something like that until post Rumble. Whoever wins, Punk or Cody or whatever.
I don't know.
I'd imagine Seth defends the title at the Rumble.
But the question is,
who's next? I don't know. They could have done this at the Rumble. I mean,
it makes sense. I want to point out and I hope WWE does more of these weekly, day one, New Year's Revolution.
I like this too.
Very AEW-esque, which is, it
works really well.
I think with WWE, the direction they're going down with these international pay-per-views, they had no pay-per-view in December. You don't need to have one PLE a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're great and everything, but you can kind of spread them out a little bit more and have these more weekly, bigger, title matches.
Tie you over for these weekly events. It makes the weekly events feel bigger.
Exactly.
I don't know. I have no idea who he could face,
I don't know.
To be honest
I have no. Jey Uso, no, because he just had a match. Drew, unless they want to do Drew again, but I think at that point it's watered down. Shinsuke they did. Can't do Cody. Obviously not Punk. I feel like are we missing someone? Sammy's been gone, but that could be cool.
Yeah, is he taking? I heard he's taking.
He's been off TV for a few weeks.
Sammy versus Seth at the Rumble would be just cool.
Yeah, that would just be a good match. I mean, they could do Damian Priest, because I remember like
Maybe he just cashes in for a straight up match.
I remember when Rollins was Money in the Bank, he had it was him, Brock, and Cena in a triple threat for the title, and Seth was the Money in the Bank winner, so like he could have had both. Maybe they,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I imagine maybe they'll do some. I don't know. Maybe they do something like they do on SmackDown with like they got a little
They do, like, a little
tournament-esque
tournament,
or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out next week.
Something. I thought, to be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be a long one. Something I want to just make note on. I don't know if you've been seeing it, but just on your case, we'll just set the record straight. Dante doesn't think the Terminator is from Fortnite. I want to make that clear.
Wait, are people saying that?
You are getting ripped in the comments.
Really?
People think you were, not like everyone, but like the people that think you were being serious thought you were being serious.
Oh no, guys. Guys, I'm being sarcastic.
You're getting
really?
ripped a
I
little
didn't
bit.
look.
I don't know if it's going to be the top comment.
No.
But let's see. I don't think it's like a popular comment, but I've seen like a handful of just like singles out here.
Yeah. All right, I'm
just
gonna have to put out a tweet on this one. I have to cover my ass.
I had an idea, which maybe we'll do. Don't put out a tweet yet. 'Cause I had an idea.
Okay.
I think it'd be a funny video, which not to spoil it, but for those people that watch till the end, you can get it spoiled. If you did like an apology video, or just come on here, just straight face, and just be like, I want to apologize. I don't know. I had the idea at like
That's
midnight.
funny.
The more I'm talking about it, I don't know if it'd be a full video. I don't know. We can
be a
toy
full
around.
10-minute long video,
Yeah, I don't
full
know.
YouTube apology video.
We can toy around with that idea. Maybe we can just do it at the beginning of a
I
quiz or
didn't
something.
realize that.
But yeah, people.
People don't understand sarcasm.
Yeah, no, people have some. It reminded me of it because there was a handful of just like, I feel old. Dante really thinks he's from the Terminator. What the hell? People are getting mad. This one says F Dante. F Dante. He's definitely lost votes for calling the Terminator some game shit. So he doesn't dislike anime. Hold on, let me just look up.
I'm dead.
Not to give the give the trolls any credit. Not the
F
trolls,
Dante.
But, the guy from Fortnite Terminator blowing hell. How young is Dante? Because that hurt. Dante calling Terminator the guy from Fortnite makes me feel really old.
Oh, sorry,
the
guys.
guy from Fortnite, the Terminator. I now feel like an old guy who doesn't belong at the youngster party. Hearing Terminator, the guy from Fortnite, made me feel like an 80-year-old.
Oh, I love it.
Why does Dante keep saying the Terminator's from Fortnite?
Terminator's not from Fortnite. He has his own franchise.
Yeah, people yeah.
Oh, man. I bet none of those people that commented are gonna watch this video. They're not gonna hear my
That's the
spiel
thing.
at the end.
If they're the ones commenting that,
It's like people
not.
that don't understand that's my bit and stuff with Fortnite. That's so funny though.
At least people being mad about Dante for their Fortnite Terminator joke.
All caps.
Some people
Thank
are
you.
getting it.
I got
Some people are
I
getting
got
it.
shooters out there. I love it.
185 likes. Dante losing fans by saying that dude from Fortnite Terminator, bro.
Then the guy replied saying it was a joke, gets no likes.
Yeah, tough. So
That's all right.
I saw that and I was like, we gotta put an end to that.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
That was I was shocked how many people thought you were being serious.
Damn.
That was crazy.
Well, I'll do it again the next time that I get the chance. I'll do it
just
again.
Like next one you gotta do
If
Goku.
it's like
the guy
Eminem
from
or something
Fortnite.
like that,
Eminem,
I'll be like, oh my god, it's the
At
guy.
this point,
Wait, the guy from Fortnite makes music.
At this point, you can do most most properties because they're all in Fortnite now.
I could play this bit hard.
See, speaking of that, Steamboat Willie, he's in public domain. The first iteration of Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I did
Public
see
domain,
that.
baby.
Yes,
I don't know why I
did
brought
see
that up.
I'm not sure.
I thought it
I did see
related.
that. I watched a video about that. Yeah.
Whew, okay.
All right.
That is the show. We're gonna get out of here. We got some.
What we
Go
haven't
ahead.
done in a few weeks. We haven't done if you made it this far, what's the
Oh
saying?
yeah, I always forget about
Yeah,
that.
me
What
too.
can we do? Let us know if you saw the Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. There you go.
Let us know if you saw the Iron Claw.
Give us your rating out of 10. Give us your rating.
Dante's gonna see it. You said today.
Yeah, a few hours.
So I think next week we'll talk about it.
sure.
Have a little segment on that.
I'll
But,
take notes during the movie.
Yeah, let us. Yeah, exactly. Film it. Honestly, just film it.
Just film the whole thing.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you've seen it. I think it was incredible. Shout out them. Shout out A24. Amazing job. I hope we see more wrestling movies because people seem to like it. I hope it gets something. I hope it gets some sort of awards.
I heard
whatever.
also that they just missed like the cutoff. Like if this movie came out like
Could be it too. Yeah.
No. I'm excuse me. That people that said if they waited like a little bit, then they would be like on the next ballot. Because now it's like they're at the very end. They're not going to get votes because it's like a brand new movie. And stuff. But if they waited until next year, then they'd get the fresh batch and stuff. I mean, I don't know much about that, the whole voting shit. So
nominations. I wonder if they got any like Globe stuff. Probably got like
because isn't the Golden Globe coming up? That's
I don't know if they got. They might have missed the cutoff for the Globe.
Right, maybe.
Zac
I
Efron
don't
says
understand the
an
whole
Oscar.
cutoff stuff. Like with the whole like the grant. I don't know how they go about that shit.
The Iron Claw fans rally for Zac Efron to get an Oscar nomination. Wow. Yeah, people are pulling for him. I honestly think I think Jeremy Allen White deserves it more.
Man, let me tell you.
But
if I walk out of that, if I walk in there and Zac Efron's performing better than he did in High School Musical, my jaw will be on the floor.
Bro,
there's no way I could top that.
Like I know, like I've seen the previews, I've seen pictures. Like I know he like got huge for the role, but like seeing it in the theater and like one of the first scenes you see like how yoked he is.
Yeah.
And holy shit is he huge.
He has
holy fuck.
I remember when he we talked about this earlier when they had Baywatch with The Rock when Zac Efron was in it. Like his body transformation.
He's in that movie?
Dude,
I never saw it.
Dude, he got ripped for that. But I remember like watching this video about like he has like a nutritionist, a cook. He had a whole he literally worked with like The Rock's like gym coach and stuff like that. So I can only imagine that he had the similar regime and like if not like more like heavier weights, eating more to get that big.
What's also
dude's dedicated as fuck. I'll give him his props there.
What's also funny, this isn't a spoiler either, but because obviously the Von Erichs, professional wrestler, especially in the 80s, big guys.
Yeah.
Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White, they're both like 5'8".
Yeah, I was gonna say we're probably the same height as them or something.
One time in like the movie they get billed, Zac Efron plays Kevin, and they're like, coming to the ring, Kevin Von Erich, 6'2".
Oh no.
And like which the weight was probably 200 something pounds, but like it's like 6'2", and like they filmed it in a way where like I get it, but
the
like
angle it makes it seem like
they had because Zach and Jeremy are pretty short dudes, and then not Kerry, David's a pretty tall guy, so he was like he wasn't towering over the other two brothers, but I don't know. I'm curious how they shot it because they didn't look 5'8". I'll tell you that. They didn't look 5'8".
Yeah.
I think maybe because maybe they cast everyone else around them to be of certain heights. I don't know, but I thought it was very funny that, and they pulled it off to have. I think Jeremy Allen White was on an interview with, I think it was like Conan or Kimmel or something, or no, I'm sorry, it was Seth Meyers. And he was even like, they were kind of talking about like the training and how he got like ripped and like whatever. And Jeremy Allen White says he saw the first pic. He first saw a picture of Kerry Von Erich, and this huge, ripped, tall guy. And Jeremy Allen White told the director, he was like, yeah, I can play strong, like I can play big. I just don't know if I can play a foot taller. How do I play 6'2" when I'm 5'8"?
Yeah, you can't do anything about that.
They really made it work, but magic of filmmaking, I guess.
Good.
But
I can't wait.
So yeah, let us know. Again, we'll revisit it next week.
Yes, sir.
Until then, Dante, we have some quizzes to film.
Yes, we do.
Whenever Soph shows up.
She should be here soon.
But all right, until next time, we'll see you. Happy New Year. Thanks for being here all year last year. We'll see you all year. Happy New Year, 2024. Blah, blah, blah.
Till then, peace.